when your dog is protecting the property or protecting the home or protecting you, that's when it really kicks in. And most dog training is trying to train the dog out of protecting their home. Sounds stupid, and that's why it doesn't really work that well, because imagine saying, hey, don't worry about the home, don't bother protecting it, you don't need to. That's not going to work. That's not going to cut the mustard, because the dog's going to say, well, who's going to protect the home? See where I'm going? Now, if you can convince the dog that you're in charge and it's your job to protect the home, voila, you have a solution. Hi there, Doggy Dan here with another edition of Pup Dates, and today we're still sticking with dog aggression, but today I'm looking at two types of dog aggression. I call one the border patrol dog, and one is the security guard. They basically protect the property, protect the house. So the security guard is that dog who, doorbell rings and they go absolutely berserk, barking, and they can go from 0 to, red zone as soon as the doorbell rings. And the border patrol is the dog who runs around the garden. Somebody comes to the front gate or walks close to the fence or something like that. So very closely linked. They're both being very protective, but one's more to do with inside the house, that front door area, and one's the whole perimeter. Now, again, I want to talk about why, and then I'm going to explain why the dog calming code is such a radically different approach to stopping this dog aggression. Because as you're probably aware, it's full on, it's very stressful to have a dog who's constantly barking. You can't even go home and get any peace because that's where the problem occurs. I can hear a dog barking in the distance. I wonder what dog aggression that type is. So here's the thing. It's pretty obvious why the dog's doing it. As I said before, it's protection. So when your dog is protecting the property or protecting the home or protecting you, that's when it really kicks in. And most dog training is trying to train the dog out of protecting their home. Sounds stupid, and that's why it doesn't really work that well, because imagine saying, hey, don't worry about the home, don't bother protecting it, you don't need to. That's not going to work. That's not going to cut the mustard, because the dog's going to say, well, who's going to protect the home? See where I'm going? Now, if you can convince the dog that you're in charge and it's your job to protect the home, voila, you have a solution. Gosh, dog's coming towards me now. I might have to pause this video and I'll start up again in a moment. This is what I call the busybody dog, the hyper dog. Maybe I'll just keep going and you can see him in the background as we walk past. But here's my kind of example of how the whole thing works. If I come to your home and somebody rings the front doorbell, then I won't answer the door. It's obvious. Who'll answer the door? You will, because it's your home. And in your home, you answer the door. Hi, mate. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Now, here's the thing. If I go to your home, there they go. If I go to your home, if you come to my home and the doorbell rings, do you move and answer the door? No. Why? Because you're not in charge. I am. It's just one of those things. We know that whoever house it is, they're in charge. And did you notice? Whoever's in charge, they answer the door. Yeah? So, here's the thing. If you can convince your dog that you're in charge, then your dog doesn't feel the need to go charging to the front door when the doorbell rings. It's brilliant. And that's how you solve this problem. It's not by constantly saying to the dog, ring the doorbell and sit and treat and on your bed, on your mat, on your bed, on your mat. Oh, dog's worked out that on the 7th attempt, they've figured out it's the same person that's come in and out the door 4 times, and they can smell the person because they're still stood outside the door. So the training, you think it's worked, but then as soon as you kind of go back to somebody new turning up, dog doesn't take any notice. That training doesn't work. It looks great on TV because it's a complete fix. The 2nd or 3rd time of asking, the dog's worked it out. And so it looks like it's worked, but really that's just a camera trick, Oldest trick in the book. They make out that solved the problem. It's just the dog's worked out that it's the same person coming in and out the door, plus the dog can smell the person on the other side of the door. They've already met them 3-4 times. So on the 4th or 5th time, yes, you say on your mat, and the dog goes, okay, give me a cookie. But this is dealing with the real cause of the problem. And when you put the dog calming code in place and say to the dog, I'm in charge, you don't need to answer the door, suddenly the dog is not like a 9 out of 10 trying to get to the door when the doorbell rings. You know, maybe a 7 or 8 to start with, or a 6 or a 5 or a 4, but they're in this place where you can say to them, hey, come here, put the lead on them. You might take them to the bed and put them there. But that training, the same sort of training, will actually work. It may be that to start with, you put them in another room for a few days or a week, and you get them used to that. The point is, they're not in this absolutely frantic red zone, because you've solved the cause of the problem, which is if your dog thinks they're in charge, they will not stop trying to protect that front door area or the garden. The same thing happens in the garden. Alrighty, hope that makes sense. That's it for another Pup Dates. Have a great day, as always. And yeah, got 1 or 2 more different types of dog aggression coming up. Look forward to sharing those with you too. Take care. Bye. Hey, Muzzy, leave it. Leave it. Oh, is it just seaweed? Oh, you're all right then.